Today I'm going to be sharing 3 new chicken recipes with you. The first 2, it was only me, so they are smaller portions, but I want to let you know that you can easily double or even triple these recipes. First up, we're making this insanely delicious garlic lemon chicken. Into my skillet, I added about a tablespoon of butter with just a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to let that heat up while I get my chicken ready. This chicken breast is still partially frozen, but that's totally fine. It makes it a lot easier to cut up. I'm just cutting this into nice small bite-sized cubes. Now my chicken is getting transferred over to my nice hot skillet. Now I'm going to season this chicken up. I'm going to be using paprika, pepper, and salt on this chicken, and as I like to say, I'm just going to be adding a layer over the top. I did not measure this. I only had 1 chicken breast here, so if I had to say, it was probably about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon each. Now that my chicken is fully cooked, I'm going to just remove this from the pan into a bowl and set it aside. In the same skillet, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of butter, and I'm just going to let that melt down. Now I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic into my butter. I'm going to let this cook for 30 to 45 seconds before I add in some chicken broth. Now go ahead and add about 1/4 cup of chicken broth. I'm using reduced sodium, but you could use regular if you want to. Now I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of oregano with just a little bit of pepper, along with the juice from 1/4 lemon. I'm going to get that combined, and then this is going to reduce over a medium heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once the liquid has noticeably reduced, go ahead and put your chicken back in the pan. Toss your chicken with this sauce, and then it is ready to serve. Here's what my finished plate looked like. I kept it super simple this night and just served this alongside some French style green beans. Over top my chicken, I added a little bit of fresh parsley, shredded Parmesan cheese, and this dinner was insanely delicious. Next, we're making these easy chicken bacon melts. Over to my skillet, I started by cooking up some bacon. For each melt, you'll need 1 slice of bacon, so I just cut mine in half. That way they would be easier to cook in the skillet, and they'll fit better on your melt. Next, I'm going to take my chicken breast and I'm just going to cut this down the center to make 2 thinner pieces. Each piece of chicken will make 1 chicken bacon melt. Now, I'm just going to season these, keeping the seasonings very simple with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Make sure you season both sides. Once those are seasoned, go ahead and add those back to the pan that you cooked the bacon in. You can either choose to use the bacon grease, or you can empty your pan and add a little bit of olive oil or butter. It's totally up to you. I just thought that the bacon grease would add some really good flavor. Now that my chicken's cooked all the way through, I'm actually going to remove all the grease from this pan. That way my chicken breasts don't end up soaking my tortilla in grease. And then once I get that done, I'm going to take my bacon and add that on top, as well as 1 slice of Colby Jack cheese. I just broke it in half so it would fit better over the chicken. And then I'm just going to add my lid on and let that melt down. I decided to use some low-carb wraps for mine, but you could also put this on bread and have a sandwich. Totally up to you. The first thing I did was spread on some mayonnaise. I added my chicken bacon melt, and then I added on some shredded lettuce, some red onion, sliced Roma tomato, and then this is what my finished wrap looked like. Not only is this dinner very easy, it's very, very filling, which was really nice. I had leftovers the next day. But this recipe is also super easy to double, triple, whatever you need to do to feed your family. Last but not least, we're making this chicken cheesesteak bowl or sandwich. To start off, I'm slicing 1 red bell pepper, 1 green pepper, and then 1 yellow onion. I'm also going to be slicing up my chicken breast. They are still partially frozen, which does make them easier to slice. I'm just going to cut those in nice skinny pieces. Over to my skillet, I have 1 tablespoon of butter with just a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to let that heat up and then add my chicken in there. I went ahead and tossed that in the butter, and then I added in my seasonings. 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder. Make sure to mix this up really well, get the chicken coated in all the seasonings, and then go ahead and just let that cook through. Once the chicken has finished cooking, go ahead and remove that into a bowl and set that aside. In the same skillet with the drippings, I'm adding a little bit more olive oil, and then we're going to cook our peppers and onions in here. I am seasoning these with just a touch of salt and pepper. Once my peppers and onions are fork tender, I'm going to add my chicken back in here. I'm going to give it a little bit of a mix before adding in about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. After you add the Parmesan, make sure you mix that up really well. And then you're just going to top this with some provolone cheese slices. I ended up using 6 pieces of provolone cheese. It covered most of everything. There was a little bit on the edges that weren't covered, but honestly, that's not a big deal. I added my lid on and I just let this melt for about 10 minutes with the heat off. I just topped that with a little bit of fresh parsley and it was ready to eat. Here's what my finished bowl looked like. I just ate it just like this, didn't add rice or anything, and I thought this was delicious. My husband actually took his to work with him. I toasted some brioche buns for him and he ate them as sandwiches and he said they were delicious. I hope you enjoyed today's video and enjoy these 3 new chicken recipes. I hope you try them, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time.